So recently 3 people died in Northern California, and it struck me because a few weeks earlier a guy had emailed me asking for information on this particular location in Northern California. Now, I had never been here before, but I spent 5 or 10 minutes doing a quick Google search and seeing what information I could find based on the place he was looking for, and I figured out where it was. I didn't tell him exactly where it was, but I sent along a video to him that was publicly available on YouTube, and I said, this might point you in the right direction. And a few weeks later, I came across this article about these 3 guys who died there. As far as I know, none of them were the guy that emailed me. I don't know if he was in the same group of these people, but it really got me thinking, and I felt compelled to make this video. Now, my number one goal on this channel has always been to inspire others to get out and find their own adventure. And of course, inevitably, as you can imagine, that has led to a lot of people asking me for specific locations, whether it's through direct messages, YouTube comments, emails, contacting me through the contact form on my website, constant questions about certain locations. Some videos, I do give the locations away. They're pretty easy to access, but others I don't. And, oh, there's a crazy looking bug down here. Where'd he go? Oh, he crawled in this hole. Huh. In a way, I feel guilty. I feel guilty for pointing this guy in the right direction, without doing any due diligence on this person. I didn't know this guy, and I thought, man, I could have sent this guy off to his death, not knowing, how do I know he knows to bring enough water or depth check the pool to make sure it's deep enough before he jumps in, or to check the flow rates in the river to make sure it's not flowing too high so he doesn't get pinned at the bottom of a waterfall. And I felt like, I don't know, I felt responsible for these guys dying, even though, it has nothing to do with me as far as I know. They don't, I've never been to this location. This guy, as far as I know, wasn't one of the guys who died, but it just got me thinking about the responsibility that I have, and not only just the leave no trace ethics of trying to preserve natural places and make sure they don't get all crapped up from people, destroying them and polluting them and stuff like that, but just the amount of effort and skills and knowledge and stuff it takes to get to some of these places. Do people have a basic understanding of the 10 hiking essentials, or do they have a basic understanding of, I don't know, leaving a call out number to tell their people, if I'm not back by this time, come looking for me, I'll be in this area. Just basic outdoor adventure etiquette. And I guess what I'm trying to say is, just because I or someone else online makes a place look easily accessible or a super fun place and they keep it secret, there are probably very good reasons that they're keeping it secret. And so if you don't have the resourcefulness to do a Google search, to do a Google image search, to look on Gaia, to look on All Trails, to put in the legwork in terms of researching where this location is, if you don't have the ability to do that, most likely that will carry over into the actual adventure itself. And most likely you will not have the knowledge or the ability to bring the right amount of water, to bring a first aid kit. Just kind of the basics that sometimes I take for granted and I don't talk about all the time. If you don't have the patience and the willingness to do the legwork to find the location on your own, most likely, I don't know, most likely, but it's a very good chance you could end up dead like these guys. You know, I don't know what went wrong. A lot of things could have gone wrong. The flow could have been too high. They could have had a cold shock response when they hit the water and just sucked in that water and drowned immediately on impact. A lot of things could go wrong in that situation. And so I want to clarify. Get out there and find your adventure, yes, but you have to take these things step by step, and you have to walk before you can run, right? And you have to be able to run before you can fly off a cliff into a pool, right? You have to know how to depth check. You have to know how to check for obstructions in the water and know whether the flow is too high. And a lot of these things just come through experience and practice and working with more experienced people. And so this summer and in the future, when you're out there trying to find wild places, like right now I'm in Florida, and the mosquitoes are very thick. It's a moist, hot summer down here. It's not how they say in the Southwest, it's a dry heat. This is a very moist heat, almost like Satan's butt crack. If you find yourself looking to get off the beaten path, looking to get swarmed by mosquitoes and, dodging malaria in Florida, I don't know why you would. But anyway, if you're trying to get off the beaten path to find adventure, I encourage you to do the groundwork, the legwork, not just in trying to find the locations. I mean, for me, I find that to be one of the most fun, and now that I've practiced it a lot, one of the most easy things is finding spots like that. But really, you have to lay in the groundwork with your fitness level, with learning about like the 10 essentials, learning about flow rates, how to cross a river, when to know that the river is too high to cross, how to depth check if you're going to cliff jump, proper cliff jumping technique, looking for obstructions, teamwork in a whitewater scenario. There's so many things that you have to learn, practice with experienced people. And so really, I want to encourage everyone to not just get out there and find your adventure, of course, but be smart about it. Do it with more experienced people. Take it slow. All the stuff I do now, I'm not some like Himalayan, well, I have been in the Himalayas, but I'm not some, Everest hiker. I haven't been in the top of Everest, but I have done a lot of stuff. I've started at the very easiest level first, and really slowly over many years built up one step on top of the other, adding a skill, adding some knowledge. And sometimes you have to refresh those skills and refresh that knowledge over time. And it's always better to do in a group scenario with some people who are more experienced. If you really want to know where a place on social media is that you've seen, you really want to know where it is and you want to go there and experience it yourself, I beg you to fully understand why maybe the people aren't so forthcoming about it. Of course, preserving the beauty, minimizing the impact on the natural land, that is part of it. But another part of it is people, unfortunately today, people want like the quick fix. They want to go to the spot, snap their Instagram picture or take their TikTok video, but they don't know all that goes into, oh my God, so many mosquitoes. They don't know all that goes into getting to some of these locations. They don't realize it could be, a 4-hour hike with no shade. And, sometimes they bring like maybe just a 20-ounce bottle of water, no water filtration. And you really have to start with the basics, the fundamentals, the foundation, the 10 hiking essentials, understanding how the weather and exposure and the terrain that you're tackling affects what you're about to get into. And so I beg you to research everything thoroughly. We have so many amazing tools now: Gaia, AllTrails, Google Maps, satellite images, countless blogs. And so if you see something and you feel inspired to go there, I think that's awesome. And I think not only should you feel inspired to go to that specific spot, because I think that's where people get hung up, is they see that one popular spot or that one spot they think is so beautiful. Be inspired to learn more, to do more, and to take baby steps. And you can't just jump in with both feet and expect to be an expert in this stuff overnight. It takes time, it takes experience, and you may see one spot, some alpine lake somewhere that looks pristine and beautiful, and you want your video or your picture of you jumping in that beautiful blue lake, but you don't know that it took 5 days of backcountry hiking to get there, right? You have to ask yourself, are you physically fit for this stuff? Do you have the right gear? Are you prepared mentally? Do you have the right tools in your toolbox? I have really tried to instill all the stuff I've learned over the years into succinct, bite-sized videos for you guys. That's why I made the how to adventure playlist, which incorporates a lot of the basics in there, and maybe some more that I haven't put in that I need to. But I guess it really touched me when I found out these guys died, and it really struck a chord with me. And so, in honor of them, in honor of others who have passed, and in honor of future adventurers who want to find their adventure, I beg of you to be fearless and thorough. Not just in finding the location, but doing everything you can in your power to prepare your body and your mind so that you're not only physically fit, but you also mentally have the tools and the capacities and the skills to tackle these adventures. At the end of the day, all I want is for more people to experience the beautiful outdoors and experience adventure. I feel like adventure is the ultimate form of gratitude. If you have a functioning body, breath in your lungs, functioning arms and legs, give thanks by just making the most of it. But you have to start slow. You have to make sure, you under the guidance of a mentor or an experienced person, get out there and baby steps, one foot in front of the other. And there's no limit to what you can accomplish, but you have to take it slow. I hope this wasn't a rambling, incoherent mess, because at the end of the day, I want you to get out there, find your adventure, and be infamous.